What's going on, guys? Evan the Xenogears enthusiast here, bringing you another Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 gameplay commentary. This is going to be the first Modern Warfare 3 gameplay in a long time. I kind of took a big break from the Call of Duty series, which is actually where the channel started, was in the Call of Duty shooter franchise, because, you know, I thought I was pretty good at Call of Duty Black Ops, and I thought I could offer something to the community, before I realized that, really, the Call of Duty franchise has sort of an oversaturated base of commentators. In fact, most games that anyone wants to watch already have a really oversaturated base of commentators, but Call of Duty more so than others. And I kind of decided that when Call of Duty Black Ops first came out, I kind of struggled with it because I thought the hit detection was really lousy and the game just didn't play very well. Then after I played it for a while, I realized it picked up. You know, they put some patches out and things just got better. So I figured maybe if I jumped on MW3, maybe things would be better. So this is my first Modern Warfare 3 gameplay in a long time. This is maybe the 4th or 5th match I played after I started playing Modern Warfare 3 again. I was playing solo, waiting for my friends to get online, which is ultimately what brings me back into the FPS genre, is the fact most of my friends play FPS, and furthermore the fact that Dark Souls, while an amazing game, isn't particularly well suited to co-op, and I've played so much Black Ops I just want to take a break and play something different for a while. I know a lot of people on this channel are still looking forward to the next Dark Souls installment, or the next Dark Souls PvP thing, and those are on my hard drive, so they'll be coming soon. I'm about 3 weeks before the start of summer, so once summer kicks in, I think I can maybe step up my upload quality. Maybe not quality, but definitely step up the frequency of my uploads. But enough about that. You know, I remember when I left Call of Duty, the biggest sort of gripes from the community were the Assassin perk, and this is strictly Modern Warfare 3, the Assassin perk, the weapon balance, and the spawns. And having come back, and I haven't really been on message boards or anything like that, I haven't been checking out the interwebs, so I don't know what people's new big complaint is, but I found that, you know, leaving and coming back, things were kind of similar to how I left them. And one of the reasons I want to go ahead and upload this was I was sort of in that camp of players that was against the usage of Assassin. I wasn't against it being in the game, but I just felt like it was sort of a crutch for, not necessarily bad players, but just a crutch for players who needed to play really defensively. But, you know, I don't know. Ghost is one of those perks that's, I can't believe that guy got me. I had an easy shot on him. But one of those things about Call of Duty that's just inherent in every release of the game is serious issues with latency, lag. This tends to be a problem with really any online game, but more so in the Call of Duty franchise for two reasons. One, because it's a Twitch shooter, so every millisecond counts, and two, just because there's so many people playing and there's no dedicated server, so even with dedicated servers you get a certain degree of lag, but now when you just make it peer-to-peer hosting, it just gets worse. And this isn't to rant or rave about lag. Lag in Call of Duty, in a lot of ways, is like lag on Dark Souls, in that it's just something you have to contend with. It's more of a problem on the Call of Duty franchise, to the point that I think they really need to get some dedicated servers, but everyone kind of knows going in that you won't have access to that, so, you know, either take the love and the hate or just don't play. I decided I couldn't compete with the lag on this series, so I stopped playing. I stopped crying and raging about it and just stopped playing, which is sort of what I think everybody, all the, I don't know, I don't want to say all the naysayers, but people that just think this game is absolutely terrible just stop playing it. That's what I did, and I still think this game is pretty lackluster, but I can still get on here and have a good time and mess around. The game is being developed for, like, sort of a casual audience, I think, a casual gaming audience, but once again, I'm still kind of wrapped up in, you know, an analysis of the Call of Duty franchise, which I'm not really qualified to give. This isn't really my forte of a game. I've never been truly good at shooters. I definitely think I put out some pretty decent Black Ops gameplays, but when it comes to Modern Warfare 3, I've only had, like, one Moab, and that Moab was only as a result of having help from friends. Not feeding me kills, but just helping friends, helping secure my position, things like that. So, clearly not a Modern Warfare 3 beast, and that's no big deal. I never was aspiring to be. Oh god, Reaper. I was watching the gameplay, I was like, what just blew me up? Like, oh, right, Reaper. But one big reason I want to upload this was, like I was saying, the Assassin, Ghost, you know, Cold-Blooded, all those perks. You know, In this match, so many UAVs were called. I don't know if I could have... I'm playing with Hardline right now, because I knew I was going to try to put up a Call of Duty gameplay, so I want to put on some perks that weren't particularly controversial, perks that no one in the community would really rage about. So I'm using like a hybrid scoped weapon with acceptable equipment. Like, I think I'm printing a pretty non-offensive class, pretty campy play style, but it's a hybrid site. I'm not going to rush with a hybrid site. I'm probably not going to rush period on this game because I cannot rush on Modern Warfare 3. At least I didn't used to be able to, and I sincerely doubt I have any chance of rushing now. But regardless, if I was rushing, camping, there are so many UAVs in the air. And I was thinking about this and talking to some friends. I don't think there's a way to balance the UAV. For those of you that aren't familiar with the Call of Duty franchise, even though most everyone on an Xbox is, but I'll go ahead and sort of spell... it's obviously a shooter, and the UAV reveals the positions of all enemies that aren't running a defensive perk to prevent it. They show up on the radar. So, it's a tremendous advantage. I mean, if you're showing up on the UAV, you're clearly disadvantaged to someone who's not showing up on the UAV. And providing you're not, like, head glitching behind a box or, like, prone camping somewhere, if they know your location, they're going to be able to do awful, awful things to you, regardless of the quality of a player you are. Particularly when this is a Twitch shooter, so... if they know you're coming, let's think about this. If I'm running, say, this loadout I have now, my opponents are running, say, Dead Silence, Assassin, and first perk of your choice. And they're rushing me, or coming after me, like they're hunting me, and I'm showing up on the UAV, they're probably going to get me. Like, they're going to know where I am, and if they have map knowledge, they're going to know how to come up in that position and get me. That's the point of the UAV. And if I'm running around changing positions, they're going to know the route I'm taking, they're going to know where to cut me off and where to route me. So, in synopsis, if I'm showing up the UAV, I'm at a tremendous disadvantage, meaning, I need to run Assassin to beat UAVs, or just accept why there's a UAV out, I'm at a disadvantage. And normally, if I'm not running Assassin, just kind of accept, let's wait 30 seconds to a minute for the UAV to pass over, and then move on with our lives, might take a death during that period. It's not a big deal. But in this game, there was a UAV out so much that I started stingering all the UAVs, and I couldn't even keep up. I was running out of missiles, because I can't replenish my missiles. So, I was one of those people that never ran Assassin. I kind of felt like it was the easy, or not cheap, but just easy way to play, and, in this game I didn't know what to do. Like, the whole match, I desperately want to switch over to Assassin because I was on the UAV the whole time. I'm playing against a group of players, and, shockingly enough to me, this isn't like regular TDM or regular kill confirmed. This is mercenaries. These people aren't in a party. It's just since support made it really easy to call UAVs, and both support and assault get UAVs, and support gets guaranteed UAVs because support doesn't actually have a streak. They just need total kills. In other words, what I'm saying is this game just encourages there to be a lot of UAVs in the air, and the value of the Assassin perk is directly related to the amount of UAVs in the air. So, I think this game did it right when they took the UAV, they took protection from air support away from Ghost and split into Assassin and Blind Eye. You can have both on at the same time, but you have to give up 2 perk slots, which I thought is actually pretty reasonable, and I thought that the perk balance was okay, except for the fact there's so many UAVs in the air this game that Assassin obviously became the best perk because you just have to contend with so many freaking UAVs. It's just like if you're in a match and no one's calling UAVs, it's somewhat likely you might switch perks and stop using UAV. Or, you might switch perks and stop worrying. So I get my Reaper right at the end of the game, naturally. But, these are not intended to be the greatest gameplays. I just want to talk a little bit about Call of Duty. This is going to cut right into the match directly after this one. I'll edit out the lobby between games, but it is exactly the next game, only due to the amount of UAVs coming down, I decided to switch over to an Assassin class, because I was just constantly on the UAV. I don't really want to run Assassin. I prefer other perks. I like running Quick Draw. I like running Hardline. I like to get my kill streaks quicker, because I play Call of Duty for the kill streaks at this point. All my friends kind of gave up on Modern Warfare 3 because they thought it was a terrible game, and I agree completely. So I kind of just, I still have fun with it, but all in all, this is a terrible, terrible, terrible game. So I just kind of moved on too, and now when I get on, I have to play Mercenary mode, essentially, otherwise I get party stomped. And honestly, I just feel like in some of these lobbies, I have to run Assassin. And, I keep, it's funny, I keep getting these spam messages over Xbox, like, you Assassin jerk, why are you camping in the corner? I'm like, okay, A, I don't camp in corners. I at least camp in high traffic areas where I might be able to get some kills out of it. But more to the point, not even talking about camping versus not camping, because that's kind of a moot discussion. How am I not supposed to run Assassin? Am I intentionally supposed to gimp myself? You stop running UAVs, and I'll stop running Assassin. That's kind of where I am with this whole Assassin debate. In Modern Warfare, you know, I agree that in Call of Duty Black Ops, Ghost was pretty overpowered, and, you know, I used it enough to when I didn't use it, you know. But in this game, like, the perk isn't overpowered, just the sheer availability and use of UAV is what makes Assassin such a necessity. So, if you're people that just can't stand players using Assassin, you know, I find typically the players that can't stand Assassin people are usually trying to get good KDR games, trying to get air support. You know, they want to be able to hunt people down in the UAVs and get good gameplay. They want to be able to, like, just basically tear ass to the other team. That's all well and fine, but if you don't want people to run Assassin, you know, you and your team of friends, if you're playing with a team of friends, just stop using the UAVs all the time. Because, like, last match, I was probably on UAV 2/3 of the game, despite the fact I was shooting down all the UAVs. When I do the commentary, this is post-game, but I remember playing that match, shooting down a ton of UAVs, and there's still being more UAVs to contend with. And I'm like, I'm doing everything I can. I'm shooting down the UAVs. And, you know, short of running Assassin, there's no other way for me to counter these things, except head glitching behind a box and letting them come to me, and hopefully I'll win the gunfight because I have the advantage of the overpowered cover. Well, that's just kind of my thought on this. I know the Assassin topic, at least when I left Call of Duty, had been beaten to death. Every thought and opinion had been given. There's like no new thoughts behind Assassin. It's balanced, it's unbalanced. I don't know. I think the perk itself is balanced. I just think that the way the game is structured just lends itself to there being a lot of UAVs up in the air all the time.
UAV online.
And that's too bad, because Assassin is probably one of the more boring perks in the game. Powerful for sure, but boring nevertheless, so I don't know. So I would have much preferred to have my Predator kill earlier than be immune to those UAVs, but being on UAV, man, is tough. Like, it's really hard to play through UAVs, at least for me. Whenever I put Call of Duty videos out, there's always that guy that pretty much says he can do anything. There's that guy on Dark Souls too. Pretty much whenever you put yourself out on YouTube, you're going to open yourself up to people that say, I can do everything you can do, plus some, and I'm an absolute monster. And more often than not, they don't have gameplay videos to back that up, but that doesn't mean it's untrue. There's some really good gamers out there. So I guess my point is, when you watch Call of Duty gameplay, unless it's the Mark of J or some crazy commentator that claims to be one of the best, I don't know anything about Mark of J, but I know he puts out wildly good gameplays. Unless you're one of those people, like, I guess what I'm saying is, when I put out these videos, especially for Call of Duty, I'm not claiming to be an expert at the game, or really even be good at the game. This is just me playing, take it or leave it, and this is me talking about it. You know, if you don't like my voice, you probably want to get out now, because the biggest emphasis of my gameplay commentaries is my commentary style, not necessarily my gameplay. And that works for some people, and it doesn't work for others, and that's all well and fine. But kind of all over the place. I don't do Call of Duty commentaries anymore, so I'm just kind of reaching at thoughts that come into my mind as I go. This is not going to be like a reshoot. You know, the first take at the recording is what I'm going to put out, so may not be up to my usual style, but that's okay. You know, I definitely am going to enjoy the fact that I put out this commentary, because it was good to put out a Call of Duty gameplay. My channel started in the Call of Duty franchise, and I got away from it, and it's good to go on every now and again, sort of relive the glory and fun that was once Call of Duty. Maybe if Black Ops 2 is a great game, I'll put out more Black Ops 2 stuff. The nice thing about when you commentate Call of Duty is the games are canned and they're easy to put out. Like,
Heads up, enemy UAV
because
spotted.
games are, you know, between 5 to 10 minutes typically, that fits right pretty well into an upload window. It's a complete match. It leaves nothing to the imagination. Like with Dark Souls, you know, it takes hours for me to upload, hours and hours for me to upload a whole playthrough, which is good because there's plenty of material for me, but at the same time, it doesn't lend itself to being as easy to upload as Call of Duty, where I can do self-contained 10-minute uploads and they're completed matches, and Call of Duty is a great and easy thing to upload. The hardest thing is finding a lobby full of bad players. Because typically when you're uploading Call of Duty gameplay, you want to seem like you're a total beast, and performance on Call of Duty is as much about how good you are as how bad the enemy team is. Not just how good they are, so much as how bad they are. Because if they're above like C average, it's going to be hard to get really clutch gameplays unless you're an absolute monster. And I find that most of the big Call of Duty game commentators, they're really not
Delta, you've got a friendly
super players. I mean, they're out there, but they're not super players. Typically, the super players are on like high-end MLG tournaments and things like that. They commentate to share their views and their personality, like most commentators. And I think that's what most people are listening for. And with that said, you have to find a lobby full of some really bad players. That way you can just go to town, smack them down, and put out a really good gameplay. That's one of the big reasons I stopped uploading Call of Duty was I realized if I wanted to just kind of share my thoughts about something and talk to my community, talk to the YouTube community / my community, which I consider my subscribers as my community. I could talk to my community over a game that wasn't so performance-based. I feel Call of Duty is somewhat performance-based in its longevity. And if I don't play a particular way, it's kind of boring to watch. And it's really easy to upload, it's easy to do the videos, but it's restrictive in what you can do and the kind of things you want to put out. At least in my opinion. This, take it with a grain of salt. I'm not a Call of Duty expert. This is just how I feel. It's that Call of Duty is easy to upload. It's self-contained game. It's quick to do. It's kind of fun to do. It's high energy. But I don't think there's a lot of knowledge you can share with people to watch up to a certain point, and you're in a really saturated market. And with Call of Duty, I feel like there's people doing it way better than you are. Like in Dark Souls, there's people that commentate that much better than I do, but at the same time, I think my Dark Souls commentaries are fine. I don't think I put out bad commentaries because I would never put out a video just to put out an upload. So every upload I do is quality. So with that all said and done, where am I going with this commentary? Nowhere. I'm going everywhere, and I just want to put an upload with some Call of Duty gameplay. So I'm offering no new knowledge. I'm just sort of chatting with you guys. Maybe I can get some comments and see what you guys think of what I'm saying. But you can just refrain from the comments like Chatcraft. Yeah, for sure. This is a Chatcraft commentary. This is not a in-your-face octane let's be sweet Call of Duty gameplay.
Kill confirmed.
I feel like I moved up in the world in this channel. I've gotten more sort of hate-inspired comments, particularly on my PvP videos, I guess because of the more competitive nature, and because I'm much better at Dark Souls player versus engine than player versus player. So, easy more to criticize me in the PvP videos. That's cool. But one thing I want to put a stop to is, if you're on my channel to basically say I'm terrible at the game, I can live with that, but please be polite when you do it, and be polite to the other users, because I'm just not... I don't have the time or energy to put up with rude, elitist snobs. That's, take that crap to a message board or take it somewhere and let those mods deal with it, because on my channel, if you start bad-mouthing other, players... Oh, I hate the knife. I hate the knife. If you start, talking trash about people on the channel, and, there's a chance I'll block you. Maybe that's not... Oh, nice spawn there. Maybe that's not a big concern if you're trolling, but I've kind of just decided I'm either going to A, ignore trolls, and B, block them. If they're trolling me, I'll just ignore them. But if they're trolling other people on the channel, I'll probably block them, because that's just how I want to do it. Anyway, we're quickly approaching the end of this gameplay. For those of you that watch it to the end, I appreciate your time. I know this isn't really my usual style of gameplay commentary these days, but I wanted to get back to the Call of Duty, and I've enjoyed just kind of brainstorming liberally in my gameplay commentary. So I hope everyone enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. Probably the next upload will be Dark Souls related. Alright guys, thanks for watching, everyone take care.